All right, folks, I'm here. I may be stepping on the little intro stuff a little bit, but my computer console thing's acting a little weird, so I just want to make sure that I'm not leaving you sitting there with a bunch of dead air. So, here we go. You are listening to Nichols Live, and I am Larry Nichols, and that's Ralph, my trusty crippled English bulldog, snorting and breathing next to me in his position. Let me get this out of the way. If you know someone, remember, we're building an army to save America. We're building an army to save America. And if you know somebody that would want to listen, but they're not going to be near the internet or whatever, give them the listen line, please. 401-283-6754. That's 401-283-6754, and then have them press 1 for channel 1. Now, let me see what I got here. You are live, so I guess that means we are on. I want to also thank Michael Jones. I'm sorry, Michael, I didn't mean to say your whole name. And oh my God, my good friend from Australia, Alistair. They have started the PayPal thing off ahead of the program. Thank you so much. And remember, the PayPal address is nicholslive@aol.com. nicholslive@aol.com on PayPal. Be sure, if you can send, be sure, please, to make sure it's for gift, not for product. Gift or donation, not for product or purchase, please, or I'll never get it. So with that said, if you want to be a part of the program this week and next week, until Alden, the guy that'll be editing and helping with the program, producing it, will be up and running with a full service, I guess you'd call it, program. Until then, we're going to do text. You can text me with your question or statement at 440-897-0611. That's 440-897-0611. Now, guys, this is a maintenance day for the treatment. Oh, and by the way, yesterday, I had to return Bob, our good friend Bob's money. I just couldn't let him do it yesterday. But, I'm not going to say his last name, but Steve, I got it. And it was from a soldier, fellow soldier. Steve, thank you. And on this day, Steve, and all of you in the audience, I'll talk about it here in just a few minutes, but today we lose another soldier. Another soldier gone. We'll talk about that in a minute. But Steve, my God, thank you. You saved the day. And from one ex-soldier, I guess, if I'm ever considered an ex-soldier, to you, I'm honored that you helped. I'm honored to meet you. And more importantly, thank you for your service. Thank you. Now, we're here with the program. If you have a question, get her on in here. It's time. And today is the maintenance program, $500. So please, let's ding it early. Please. Now, I have a problem today, which is the problem I have every day. What do I talk about? What on earth do I talk about? Well, I just talked to, before the program, I didn't get much time to talk to her because we were just short coming up on the show. But Janine, one of our listeners, one of our friends, one of your friends, she has a sister in Greece. And in Greece, they are going through already what Puerto Rico is fixing to have to go through. Chris, a friend of ours, all of us, she had a good line, or a good way of saying it. Greece is to the euro what Puerto Rico is to us. Today in Greece, you can get 60 euros a day out of the bank. That's it. 60 euros. And as I understand, Janine, you can text me if I'm wrong, the bank is already controlled in Greece by the government. Her sister had no idea how long this will last. Now, I don't know what a euro is, but I'm going to surmise in dollars, I guess it's maybe $70 thereabouts. Guessing. Somebody might know better than I. But how would you like to live in a world where you work hard each week doing what you do? Your employer must put your pay into the bank, which is nationalized, controlled by the government, and then they let you take the sum total of 60 euros, let's call it $70. They let you take $70 a day, and that's it. That's all you get out. That's it. Now, she did go on to say that in Greece there are no jobs. I don't doubt that. There's no food in the grocery stores. I don't doubt that. Because when this thing turns, as we're getting ever closer to it happening, when this turns, oh my God. And remember, Puerto Rico. Remember Puerto Rico, because it's the thing. It's the triggering. We're 115 down in the stock market. It's the triggering mechanism that can cause all of this to go down. Remember the hypothetical. One of our 5 major banks, and this is not hypothetical, one of our 5 major banks has a deep, dark secret that is about to come out. Now, hypothetically speaking, what if that deep, dark secret for that one of 5 major banks turns out that it holds the lion's share of the $72 billion debt that Puerto Rico owes? That will start a cascading series of events. We'll be caught up in it. We will be caught up in it. And then who do we call? That lady that does the commercial for Puerto Rico, she begs us, the American citizens watching that commercial, she begs us to get our congressmen, our senators, and to get our Congress to vote to bail out Puerto Rico so that the money she has in the bank she can keep, because that's all she has on planet Earth, and she has to use that to live on in her retirement years now. Let me ask you this. If this happens to us, who is Americans, what country can we call and run a commercial and beg that country to tell its Congress to bail us out so our money is not lost? Something, isn't it? Something. It's something. Now, I found out this morning that NASDAQ had a secret meeting. I love it when it's a secret meeting and people know about it and write about it in the paper. But they had a meeting. And in that meeting, they discussed computer currency. In other words, a cashless society. Computer money. And I'm going, okay. That makes a lot of sense, I guess. Just not to me. Maybe it does to you, but it don't to me. Unless you think of something. Folks, let me ask you. If our government today, hypothetical again, if our government today decided, all right, guys, here's what we're going to do. We're nationalizing the banks and we're repatriating the money. We've already been through the cycle of negative interest, so now we're repatriating the money. There's 2 ways I see that you could come around and collect that money. Number 1, you could come bang on my door or your door, and some Gestapo-type goon, probably representing the IRS, which may explain why the IRS has loaded up another 60,000 employees and armed them and have bought all kinds of weaponry, automatic weapons and ammunition. They come knock on your door and say, okay, Mr. Nichols, in my case, we need you to turn over all of your cash. And I'm going, whoa, whoa. We'll give you a receipt for it. You will be credited for having that much cash, but we are taking up all of the cash. There's no reason to have cash, right? Whatever their excuse, they're going to take up the money. That's cumbersome, and that is explosive. Remember, we're in the end throes of a silent coup or velvet coup. Quickly, the difference there between a velvet coup, silent coup, and a coup as such. A general coup is when the military comes in and takes over, surrounds the capital, and it takes it over. That's a coup we've seen in other parts of the world. A silent coup is when they take it over methodically and don't nobody know that you're being taken over because it's so, it's so silent and subtle, and you don't realize it until it's too late, which is where we are now, essentially. What if there was a slick way to take up all the money without panicking the people of America, without the risk of exploding this country and people going nuts and rioting and so forth? What if there's a way to do it where you can do it real quietly and nobody ever think about it? Well, what about this? What about you get your paycheck, you take it to the bank, you put it in the bank, and you know what? The employer puts cash in the bank to pay you, and then when you put your cash in the bank, they give you a receipt. They got your dollar bills. When they take the dollar bills, when they take the currency, they send it to Washington. And you're told, don't worry, you've got this much money in your account. And you'll have a card, as we do now, and you just, whatever you want to buy, just go up and show them that card and run it through the machine. There's no reason, Mr. Nichols, for you to be carrying all these cumbersome dollar bills around. Pretty slick, huh? Pretty slick. And you say, well, that can't happen. How, Larry, can you even figure that meeting with NASDAQ could mean something as sinister as this? I can tell you if you want me to. Why would NASDAQ, quote unquote, have a secret meeting? Why would it be a secret meeting where they're talking about doing away with the currency? I don't know about you. I don't. But in my world, working with the other side, the dark side, the underbelly of Washington, whenever they're doing something in secret, a big flag comes up to me and says there's something they don't want us to know. Why would they have a secret meeting so therefore we can know if they got a secret meeting, they're going to talk about stuff they don't want us to know about? And then come to find out their secret meeting, at least as it is reported, their secret meeting, guess what, was about doing away with currency. What are you going to do then? Huh? This furthers, in a perverted way, what I've tried to tell you for the past few days. If this economy, when this economy tanks, bottoms out, and explodes, cash will be king. Cash will be king. Because you see, you've got this card in your hand that says you have this money in your bank. And with the stroke of a button, one push of a button, your bank account is bled dry and your funds were repatriated with a push of a button. They take your money. Now you got nothing. You got nothing. Well, Larry, you said, though, that it's going to be a cashless type society. Let me assure you, the holder of real dollars, when this thing collapses, the holders of real dollars, you'll be able to buy stuff you need to live. You will. You'll be able to buy with it. Yes, it'll be probably considered to some degree maybe some black market type stuff, but I'll tell you this, you'll be able to buy food, you'll be able to, get stuff to eat, you'll be able to have the necessities. But if you're relying on that card that the government controls with the push of a button, you got nothing. You got nothing. Now, let me read. Hold on. Okay. I'm reading a message, but I think I'm not supposed to say nothing about it. Okay. Can't tell you that one. That was a private message. Sorry. Here's a message from a listener. I thought nationalizing a bank was good because that would mean we have an actual government that represents us, the people. In other words, the Fed is ours. No. First off, the Federal Reserve, listener, and I think maybe you were being facetious there. Wait a minute, a little bit lower on the internet, but the numbers on the listener line is up about 1% overall increase. So we're down a little bit in listeners, but we're up anyway. Everybody remember this, because I don't talk about it much, because once again, I just think everybody knows it, and I'm usually wrong. And you'll be wrong if you think all your friends and family know it, because they don't. The Federal Reserve, which will be in charge of controlling the banks, is not the federal government. The Federal Reserve is a private corporation. Private corporation. Owned by the same 10, 11, 12 rich people that own everything else, that are on the major boards of all the major companies. They own the Federal Reserve. We don't. The government don't. And when we get nationalized, as the listener is pointing out, well, the good news, I guess you would say, is at least our government is doing something. Our government, we at least have a government. Folks, we're going to have a government when this collapses. We truly are. It's just not going to be the government that you and I think is a government. You see, if we have a king that has a central committee that runs everything, decides everything, whatever, we're basically communists. And when we become a communist country, then guess what? Yeah, you got a government. It's just a communistic form of government. It's not ours, a representative republic form of government. When they nationalized the banks, folks, in the 4 or 5 countries I've been in, when coups have taken place, whether it be total coup, which means they come in with tanks and stuff, or whether it was like Nicaragua and a few others where it was a silent coup up until the last minute and then everybody found out it was over. In every one of those, there's a little thing that's kind of tricky. When it came to repatriating the funds from the people, ostensibly to save the country, to get it out of this bind that it's in, every country, not all of them but one, every country I've been around, the people that were in charge during the coup, when the money was gathered and collected, the majority of it went to them in their bank account in Switzerland or wherever. It didn't do one thing for the people of that country, not one. And I would think we are actually in about the same situation right here. Got my message, first commercial, buddy. Thank you, Alden. I've gone past it, folks. Please, no one has sent anything to PayPal. Today is the day that I have to have the maintenance program. Today, tomorrow, and Thursday. It's $500. Are you out there? Please help me get that. There's so much important stuff we got to talk about. I just feel like I can't get enough done in an hour when I'm spending time begging you for money, and I don't want to beg. I hate beg. It just destroys everything. Somebody kick it off, please. Somebody out there. That's what it usually takes. I have found one person. Please kick it off. We got 500 to get. 500. I've got to have it, because when I get off this program, within an hour, I have to either let them know whether I'm going to get my maintenance treatment or I'm not, because I have to staff up for it. Back to where I was. Do y'all understand what I'm trying to say? I'm just in such a bind. I can't say a lot of things out in the open just because I can't, because of agreements, contract. I just can't. But it is a terrible, terrible thing coming for us. Yesterday, a man called me, and he asked me, he said, well, I've got a 401k, what do I do? I said, well, I told you, and guys, I'm telling you all, I'm not, I just got a message from Leading Edge, Greg. He said, ready to expand to 90 minutes or more anytime. He said we can have more time if we want it, because that's up to y'all. If y'all want it to be longer than 1 hour, then y'all have to let me know. That's your call, not mine. But anyway, I told this gentleman, listener, as I've told you all, I am not a financial advisor. I can't do that. I'm not licensed to give you that kind of information, tell you what to do with your money at all. I'm not. And just so that y'all know, what I'm telling you about the bank, that you may want to, I'm trying to, in my way, hypothetically, I'm trying to say, hypothetically, that maybe you might want to get your cash out of your bank. Now, do you understand? I'm not asking that to help me. That don't help me one bit. I'm not saying take your cash out of your bank and give me 10%. I'm not saying nothing like that. I am not saying anything like that. I'm just saying that hypothetically, as best I can say it hypothetically, you might want to be thinking about someday when this thing collapses, whatever you've got in that bank is going to be gone. And cash will be king. So you might want to, hypothetically, be making plans to get that money out and get it with you. You're not getting enough interest now in the bank. What will you lose? Somebody, you might think, well, gosh, if I pull my money out of the bank, then I lose the interest I'm getting. My God, you're not even probably getting 1% interest on it in the bank. And for that 1%, you're playing Russian roulette. You might lose it all. It don't cost you anything to take the money out of your bank. You still have the money. The difference is it's in your hands, not theirs. It's like Greg with Leading Edge told me just earlier today. He said there's one rule. The only money you've got is the money I'm paraphrasing it, Greg, but it's the only money you've got is the money you've got. You can say you've got money and it's in the bank. Well, when it's in the bank, you don't have it. It's in the bank. And whatever befalls that bank it's going to befall your money. I have a question here from a listener. Who are the families that own the Fed? When you said 12, I assume you meant the 13 families, including the Rothschilds. Yes, I did. How can we get the media report on it? It would have to be on live TV so people can record it at home. Then it can go viral. Enough is enough. Okay, listener, yes, enough is enough. I can't tell you the names of the 13 families that own the Fed. Used to could, but I can't now. And remember this, listener, the reason it's not going to be carried on the news live is the same people that own the Federal Reserve. Those same families are also the same families that are on the boards and own the major TV and news networks. They're the same people, essentially. They own the media. That's how they control what you do and don't hear. Enough is enough. And what I was saying about taking your money out, that don't cost you nothing. You've actually got your money. Now you've got it. When it's in the bank, I'm trying to make you understand in as safe a way as I can, hypothetically, when it's in the bank, you don't have your money. They got it. And when they go and nationalize the bank and or they go first, they may even go to negative interest first. But anyway, when they go to negative interest, they're going to have your money in the bank and they're going to charge you for keeping your money. And then they're going to take your money, take it from you. All that can happen. Ask that lady in Greece. Yes, it will happen. They can do it, and they will do it. And when that happens, let me ask you this. We can have our meeting all we want to, but what good's that going to do us? Ain't nobody going to have anything. Nothing. Got another thing from the listener. What can they do? Probably cut you off. There has to be a way to sneak or leak this info out. Listener, that's what I'm doing right now. Got another listener that sent me a text, said the Rockefellers and the Rothschilds. Yeah, they're in it. They're in it. But don't worry about them. Don't worry about them. Worry about you. What I'm trying to do is save our country. And to save our country, I've got to help you. Because I assure you, if they take all your money, I know because I don't have any. I know what it's like. When they take your money, it's hard for you to be interested in anything else. You will be fighting just to feed your family, just to do the basic things. Deal with it now. Don't lose it. Deal with it. Federal Reserve. Private. Rich families. It ain't us. It ain't the government. Now, back to the man that asked me about his 401k. I said, I can't tell you about your 401k. That ain't what I do, and I'm not. He said, well, let me tell you the problem. Let me tell you the problem with my 401k. If I take out like $10,000 with the taking it out early penalty and the taxes I have to pay on it, I'll get maybe $8,000. Now this is for y'all, hypothetically. Listen, if you've got money in your 401k, I'm just saying hypothetically. Would you rather have for that $10,000 $8,000, or would you rather have for that $10,000 when you take it out $1,000? Which would it be? Same thing I told him. He said, well, obviously I'd rather have the $8,000. All right? Then you must understand with your 401k that every day you leave that money in that 401k, it's worth less than it was the day before. It'll be worth less tomorrow than it is today. Because it'll gradually work itself down, work itself down, work itself down. And then when this all crashes, and remember, guys, this thing's going to crash, and it's going to happen by design. It'll happen so fast, they will have already, oh, gosh, I guess that's what the NASDAQ meeting was. Oh, gosh, I guess that's what the meeting was with the Federal Reserve when they brought Obama and Biden in, and they were talking about the FDIC, how it was not able to cover the 5 major banks. They didn't have enough money to cover them if they went into default. My gosh, you see, the government, prior to this thing falling, they're going to have worked out the plans ahead of time of what to do and how to do it, and they're going to have started doing it, oh my gosh, like that meeting with NASDAQ about the computer currency, so that when it happens, when they pull the plug, folks, you will not have time to do a thing. And it will all be gone. And you will sit there and wonder why. Why didn't I do something 3 months ago? Why didn't I do something 2 months ago? Why didn't I do something a month ago? When Larry was trying to tell us this hypothetical story about what could happen when this thing collapses, All he tried to tell me back then was just get your money and get it in your hands and keep it there. And then whatever happens with the economy and so forth, when it crashes, when it does whatever, at least you have your money. That's all he tried to tell us a month ago, 2 months ago, or whatever. Do you get it? Do you? Now, back to it's commercial time. Hold on. Back to commercial time. Nobody has sent anything yet to PayPal. Please, if you're out there, can you please help? I mean, taking it up to the edge, guys, is tough. You know, my heart's already swollen from having to, what they call overworking it because of the breathing problems. But sweating out whether we're going to be able to get the treatment is just tough. I mean, it really is. It's just tough. So I'm asking you, please, ding that dinger with PayPal. Somebody, you know, we're short $500. Can you help? Can you help, please? And nobody's dinging it. That's when I feel defeated. That's when I feel like it's something I'm doing wrong. Anyway, you know what I need. I got this from the listener. It says, too bad the Rockefeller sold this country out. He could have protected this country and be loved. David could have, I guess that's David Rockefeller, could have protected this country from Jacob. They used to compete against each other. Man, where can they be now? I swear when JFK and 9/11 happened, it must have been an orgy, laugh out loud. Must have been an orgy, laugh out loud, buddy. I don't know about any of that. Don't know about any of that. Let me look here. Alden, bless your heart. This is the guy that's doing all this work, putting us up, and he sent 20. Alden, thank you. You shouldn't have. Got this one. Carla said, I'm sorry, I am tacked out right now, Carla. You have done so much. Don't you worry. Don't you worry at all. Another message here from Alden. I got you, buddy. Keep your head up. Thank you, Alden. Do you see what's going on, y'all? I can't tell you how serious this is. And if you're listening to me right now and you're thinking this is entertainment for you, it's all this is for you, then you need to find someplace else to go. Because I don't do entertainment. And I swear to you, I would not be talking about this stuff which does not please me at all, unless there was a real, clear and present reason for me to do it. Are we clear on that point? I don't want to do this. I don't want to talk about this stuff. It's risky for me to talk about this stuff. But I cannot sit back and watch every one of you lose everything you got just at the time when we will be needed to stand up for this country. Just at the time when we will be needed to stand up for this country, we won't be able to. And I'll tell you why. Because I fear when this happens, It's kind of hard when you wake up in your family and you have to look around and you go, oh my God, we've got nothing. Nothing. And with the nationalization of the banks, with the repatriation of the currency, guess what happens? Just like in Greece, businesses start closing down because you know what? They can't sell their product. That's why there's not food in the store. People can't spend the money to grow the crops and do all of that stuff because there are people out there don't have the money to buy it. I'm telling you, it's societal. It just works the entire economy. It's a cascading series of events that stops with us in submission. With us in submission. Now, today, one of our brave young soldiers died. And I can only tell you, it hurts me as it does you deeply to hear of one of our finest being killed, especially in Iraq. What does Iraq mean to us now? What does it mean? It's not ever going to stabilize, not with us there. We're not going to stabilize it, like somebody I was talking to before the program. The only time Iraq's going to stabilize, you know when that is? That's when they get another tyrannical leader like Saddam Hussein, who will whip it in line and torture people and make people do what they're supposed to do. That's when, and that's only when. You need to know after World War II, Churchill, Stalin, Truman, they worked out dividing up the Middle East for two reasons. Number one, to ensure the flow of oil for the world. And number two, to provide a home country for the Jews. And we put in puppet governments. Puppet governments, they were puppets. And you know what? They turned out the ones that actually were able to stick and stay in power were the vicious ones, the evil ones, the tyrannical ones. But you know what? The region was stable. Along comes George W. Bush. He's got his reasons. Then comes Obama. He's got his reasons. And then the next thing you know, these countries are all getting reassembled. Just took down everything that had been. And now we have a destabilized Middle East. A powder keg ready to explode on top of everything else we've got going on. And then you want to make yourself sick to your stomach? All right, folks, look at this. Bob sent $400. Can we raise $80, please? Thank you, Bob. God bless you, buddy. Thank you. We're $80 short. And just so that y'all know, yesterday I sent Bob his money back. Before, I knew Steve would save the day. Actually, it happened all at one time, pretty much. Please, somebody, I'm not doing a commercial, I'll take it back, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. But today a soldier died, a Navy SEAL died for that hellhole of a country that don't want us there, and we got no business being there. A big part of several trillions of our dollars in debt are there. And let me tell you what that young man went through to die. We had a saying in the Green Berets, fighting and dying ain't so tough. It's what you got to go through just to get there to be able to get in a battle that'll kill you. That was what was tough. And then why it hurts me so when one of ours is killed. And I know in his heart that last minute of his life, those last minutes, the last few minutes of his life, how scared he was. Guys, it's scary when you're in a firefight. It's scary. I mean, it's so scary. It's a fear. I had a message here from Carla. Tell Bob thank you. Bob, thank you. And a lot of this audience says thank you, Bob. Believe it or not, I have been so scared in combat that I was almost unable to move. That scared. And that feeling is one that is shameful. That feeling is one that stays with you. That feeling is one that you can't lose it. You just can't lose it. It's fear. It's fear. The ultimate fear, I guess, in a way. But you fight through it. That young soldier fought through that kind of fear and died. You know why he died? He died for me and you. He died for me and you. And I'm not going to be a part. I'm not going to be a part of anything that dishonors him. And I don't believe you will either. I don't believe you would have any part of anything that would dishonor him. I just don't. I do not believe you would. I just don't think you would. Boy, Larry, but what do you mean, dishonor him? Let me tell you, that's the point behind this program. We are building an army to save America. And our subtitle is Fighting Propaganda. And by the way, you need to tell everybody, you need to go. You can go to our YouTube channel, Larry Nichols Live. And all of these programs, yesterday and Fridays, they're up there. People can, it's kind of like archive, except it's on YouTube. Go there and let people listen so now they can hear the program even if they weren't here today. But oh Lord in heaven, know this. That soldier gave his life for us. Now, if he's willing to go through hell, and I'm talking about from training and what he has to do to get and fight and do whatever, crawl to get to the place where the battle's going on, just so that he gets to that battle, and then when he gets there, he dies. He did that for us. And are you telling me that he did it just so this country could roll over and be taken over by the Hillarys or the RNC establishment people to make us a communist or a dictatorship? Do you think that's what he was willing to go that route to do? No. No. And by God, so help me, we, everyone here, we are honor-bound to do everything we know, do beyond that which is possible for us to do to protect this country. I swear to you it is. I got this text just a second. He fought and died for us, just like Larry, like many have fought for us and continues to fight. Thank you, sir. That's from Greg. That's from Greg. PayPal. Leading Edge. Thank you, Greg. Thank you. Tonight, when you get ready to go to bed, say a prayer, mention the soldier when we know his name, and honor him by joining our army. Honor him by all of us doing what we are supposed to do to protect this nation. This message from Greg. At Leading Edge, there will be greater damnation on these politicians for selling us out. Then there will be any draft selling us out. Then there will be any draft dodger. I don't know. I didn't read that right, or I didn't understand it. Can we do that for not just the soldier that died, but for all of us, for all of the soldiers? I mean, that's time for the third. Thank you, Alden. All right, guys, third commercial. Last, thanks to Bob, we're $80 short. We're $80 short. Can you please help me? That sounds so weird, begging you to help me. I swear to God it does. Would you please help? Would you? I need 4 people with $20. I need 8 people with 10. Just get on PayPal and help me. And all you're doing, just so you know, is we're just doing everything. I'm doing everything I can to be able to be here. And I need your help to be able to be here. I'm pretty disappointed when I think of how many people are listening. And I think of all the people that have helped. If you can, please help. Please help. $80. That's what we're short. Might as well be 1,000. Might as well be 1,000 because I don't have it. So it's our duty, as much as it's a soldier's duty to fight and if need be die to protect this nation, so too is it ours to do the same here. At least we're not in some foreign land dealing with a bunch of towel heads, and we're not. We're here. We will be using virtually the same tactics used in combat, except instead of killing people, we'll be doing political stuff. We will be spreading the word. That'll be our ammunition, spreading the word, getting the word out. Truth will be the ammunition. Truth in a world of lies. We're going to tell the truth. And yes, there's going to be an awful lot of people, folks, an awful lot of people that when you tell them the truth, you know what, they ain't going to believe you. But I'll guarantee you, if you will tell them, they will soon see. They'll remember. It works. Oh, hell, I'm all disoriented now because the money didn't come in. This is just tormenting to me. It really is, and it's not your fault, it's mine. I'm just sitting here watching the dinger thing, and it's not dinging, and I just don't know. I don't know what's wrong. I mean, am I dreaming about something that's not achievable? Am I hoping for something that just can never be? I just want to be here long enough. At this is the time, right now, for us to save this country. This is the time. And yes, it's scary because we might fail. We might fail. It's got a text here that says, up to you to announce this FBI looking for food bar contamination suspect. Be observant in the public. The enemy is present. That's right, Greg. That is so true. I mean, we're a soft target nation. Target rich, soft target nation. And all of these enemies that Obama's bringing 10,000 more of in before 9/11. According to CAIR, whatever that group is of Muslims here, their little organization, even they say fully 25% of all followers of Islam are radical fundamental Islamists, i.e. the people that want to kill us. 25%. So if he brought 10,000, we got 2,500 on the ground here right now. That if they could see their way clear to taking out and killing your family and mine, your kids, mine, hey, they'll do it in a heartbeat. Do it in a heartbeat, and in accordance with what they believe, they'll go to a higher place with Allah in heaven, their heaven. So, you, me, beware of soft targets, because these guys can come in now and they don't have to blow up. See, Belgium proved this. They don't have to go in and blow up the World Trade Center. No, sir. All they got to do is go in a restaurant and poison the food, and then, you know what? 30, 40 people died. All they got to do is go in a restaurant, take a hand grenade and set it off. 60 people or so died or wounded. They die, but they don't care about dying. They don't. These are things we need to talk about. We need to be talking about. And tomorrow I will try to, if we get the $80, I will try tomorrow to do a program about what to do, how to protect yourself in soft targets, how to know as best you can whether somebody that's in there is going to try to kill you. There are things you can do. And folks, these things I tell you like that, I don't tell you from just in my head some epiphany. These are things that I've actually had to do. I've actually been in countries where I've had to know which person in the crowd's probably the one that's going to blow me up or try to. There are things you can do, things I can teach you to help you know your environment. I know there's no commercial time left, but I'm going to say it one more time. We got $80 to go, and we got 7 minutes to get it. $80, 7 minutes. Are you there? Are you out there? Do you want to help? Just tell me, please. Now listen, guys. If I don't need to be doing this show, then I don't need to do it. Please, I don't need to do it. If you don't want me doing it, all y'all got to do is just tell me don't. Just tell me don't. But dang it, just don't let it happen this way, where I'm just hoping for the best. By the way, one other thing. If you want my CD with me singing and playing the guitar, sure enough, you may be surprised at how bad I am, but whatever. If you want it, if we can deliver it to you like through a Dropbox on the internet thingy, and we don't have to send a DVD, I'll be glad to send it to you for nothing. It's free. I just need you to go to my Facebook. I just need you to go to the Facebook and let us know you'd like to have it. And then we'll send it to you free. There's no money. You don't have to buy it. Now, if you have to have it in a CD, there'll have to be a fee for Alden to make a CD, buy the CD, mail the CD. So, I mean, you understand there's more of a cost there. We got 6 minutes. $80. 6 minutes. I don't want to do what I did Tuesday of last week again. I don't want to do it. So if you're out there, please help. And I'm not going to talk, I hope, anymore about the hypothetical that I've tried to spend 2 days telling you about. To sum it up, so we don't talk about it no more, because it's risky for me to talk about it. To sum it up, the money you have in the bank is not yours yet until you get it with you at home. All right? If it's there, it's not yours yet. If something happens when it's there, you're going to lose it all. You're going to lose it all. Now, we might end up like Greece with the lady that had the sister. You might end up where we're getting, the most we can take out is $70 of our own money a day. I mean, that's bizarre, but that's the truth. That's the way it works. So, with all that said, we're 4 minutes. Can somebody hit PayPal? Will somebody hit it, please? Hold on. God dog Bob, same guy that sent the 400, sent 100. Today's show is dedicated to Bob. He bought and paid for it for all of us. Bob, thank you. Audience, I don't know what you've got to do or what we can do for Bob. I don't know. But I owe him my life. I owe him my life. That's an awesome thing. An awesome thing. Owing a debt like that. 3 minutes to go. One man. One man. There is Bob Alden said he's going to send you a CD free. Well, get that to you. Remember what I told you. If you want a CD or if you want the music, I think it's 10, 11 songs, whatever it is. If we can send it to you via email, there's no charge at all, zip. If you'd like to have it, just go to my Facebook and make a request to get it, and it would come. And I would tell everybody, remember, Larry Nichols Live, I think it may even have broadcast in it, but Larry Nichols Live on YouTube. That's where you can go, and a few hours after each program, Alden puts it up on that YouTube so you can have people go at night or whenever they can and see the program. So, here we go. Bob, by the way, Greg at Leading Edge Radio said you're going on their wall of fame. Thank you, Bob. Thank you, Steve, for yesterday. Thank you, Carla. Thank you, Janine. Thank you, Alden. Good Lord, the list goes on and on and on. It goes on and on and on. But we have to stick together if we can. I have to beg you to stick together because I can't do it. I can't. So, with that, with a minute left, thank you all. Bob, thank you. And he can't bail us out tomorrow. So if anybody's out there, please think about it. With that, I guess we got 30, 45 seconds. I hate to leave you with dead air, but I hate to be cut off in mid-sentence. Watch the election tonight. Let's cross our fingers, hope Trump wins. With that, I will say good day. This is Larry Nichols, Nichols Live.